Hey. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. As you can see, left the safety curtain up.
I did that the other day.
And we are broadcasting in glorious, full, high definition this week, which means there'll probably be some problems. If Keith's computer doesn't explode in the meantime. I'm talking to Keith. Hello, Keith.
Hi. Just made it. Just.
Yes, just made it. And the stalwart on podcasting journeys, it's Nigel. Hello, Nige.
Hello, everyone.
How we all doing?
Totes amazeballs.
Totes amazeballs.
I could do with a drink, but apart from that.
Yeah, well, Apple's got a lot to answer for, especially when it comes to Time Machine, which corrupts backups, making backups pointless. Because even when you do manage to open them up, they don't fucking work. Anyway, we got some news and bits. We got some bits today this week. We got some spicy stuff, which we worry that might be a little offensive. So you have been warned. And just some housekeeping. As of May, we'll be splitting the podcast into two. One will be the Gaming Face Punch, which will be the video game stuff. And then the other one will be the TV and movie stuff, which will be the Monkey Nut Punch bits. So stay on board for that. And we'll probably be dual broadcasting on both the Gaming Face Punch and the Monkey Nut Punch channel at the same time, just for the month of May. Anyway, without further ado, it's on to the movie news.
Can I just say hello to someone in the comments?
Hello, Dave.
And now we can get on with movie news. Well. I know we were always harping on about, Godzilla King Kong being stupid, silly fun. There's a Fast and the Furious trailer that came out this week and looks silly fun. So let's watch.
There are moments that separate us. But we always...
They're just teasing us now. People in the garden have barbecues and a drink.
Completely unrealistic.
About the wild missions
Yeah.
we've been on.
Who does that?
It had a 22-mile runway in one of the films. I mean, come on. I think we're past realism by now.
I mean, having a barbecue in a garden.
Oh, look at this.
Dom's brother.
Fucking garbage.
Hang on. Let me just pause it for a second.
Yeah, I want to see that
For those
again.
listening on the podcast, yeah, John Cena, full of head of hair, is Vin Diesel's brother, a man who embraced his going bald and just went, I'll shave the whole bloody thing off. Apparently is his brother. Suspension of disbelief carries on.
Hang on. Pause it again. We've just seen a car jump over a cliff, right, and effectively fly, and then be chased by a fighter jet with missiles,
Keith,
right?
Keith,
and you've got a problem with the hair.
Right, hang on a second. And Lord Sumish's hair is bad too.
That's awful. Whatever that is.
Can I just point something out? That is not the most insane thing in this trailer. We will get there.
I thought they jumped off the cliff, and the plane came and sort of went and latched itself onto the.
It will make sense, Nige, because they do a thing with magnets later, and you'll go, the magnets. I hope they do. Otherwise, it's just fucking mad. But then again, Godzilla, King Kong, Big Monkey punches Big Lizard. Enjoyed the hell out of it. I think my brain is now in. I'm tired of politics. I just want fun.
Never turned your back on family, but you turned your back on me. Now your little family is in my world.
Are you ready? Whatever's on you, is you ready? It's on us. Are you ready?
He's got his own private army. We need help.
No way.
So how do y'all want to play this?
Fast.
Okay, this is a bad time to mention this, but I don't drive.
Brother against brother. This should be interesting.
Still can't get over that stupid haircut.
Could you kill him?
No, that's a terrible haircut. All right, hang on. I'll just point something out. Helen Mirren's in this, and Heron Millen is Mirren. Is what's his mushes? Jason Statham's mum in Hobbs and Shaw.
She's been in another one of these as well.
Magnet time.
Crank it all the way up.
We the soldiers. Man, we messing with magnets now? Whoa. It's good to be back.
We got no white flag and no tree. We got the product. We got the tools. We supposed to stop that? Hold on. We are the chief.
Right, just a quick one, right, for the listeners, because I know the people listening to the podcast can't see what we're watching. They are doing crazy shit with magnets, pulling cars left, right, and centre, and now they have flipped an armoured lorry upside down.
It's like 3 trailers long.
I spent my entire life in your shadow.
And now it continues to skid.
Upside down.
And Dom's surfing it.
Rest of yours.
Dom was surfing it. Just
He was
point that
surfing
out.
it. He's now
It looks like he was
inside
in it all along.
I would totally buy it if it was Ant-Man. That looks fake as shit, but hey.
Hang on. Wait for it, Nigel. Wait for it.
Really? Duct tape?
I love this.
On our way to Home Depot.
No. They're going into space. Are they going into space or are they diving?
Tried it and failed.
I want to see this movie.
I think I just need that
Oh,
like some nonsense in my life.
I love me some silly fun. That is just silly as
Helen was in Fast 8 as well. She was in Fast 8, then she was in Hobbs and Shaw, and now she's back again because Dom goes to see her when he's being controlled by that bitch who's obviously back again.
Yes.
My first proper date with my now wife was Fast 7, I think. Yeah, we love the Fast movies in this household.
Mine was what was mine? Mine was Deep Blue Sea.
It
That's how long
was.
we've been
I
together.
remember that.
I remember Deep Blue Sea together. The
Dead
bit where
awesome, mate.
Saffron Burrows has to get a kit off to kill one of the sharks. Fucking awesome. I miss films like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay.
When's it coming?
Oh, July. Oh, hang on a second. What did I put? No, it's July sometime. I've just switched I've switched over to the next set of notes. It's in July sometime. So it's a proper summer blockbuster. Hopefully we're about to get here in the UK. We're going to watch it in the cinemas and everything will be a-okay. I might be, given it's in June, I might be going to see it with Nige. That would be a good one. Me and you go and see that. Be good fun. I can invite Carl along too. Wife probably want to see it too. Sorry, Keith. Let's come back to the UK, mate. Oh, you're on your third lockdown.
Yeah, thanks.
We just finished our third. It's good.
It does look mad. The things we do with magnets and stuff like that are great. But that's awesome. All right.
I like the fact they're pushing the boundaries of nonsense.
It's
great.
I think the best way of describing it is the Avengers if the Avengers were car based rather than superhero powered based. That's the best way of describing it.
Yeah.
And I don't. And at the moment, because so much shit's gone down and so many horrible things have been said, and we'll cover some stupid fucking things. Yeah.
And I reckon, using that analogy, like that woman who can't drive a car but is in the car thing and in a car gang can't drive a fucking car. She's Green Lantern.
She's been in the last 2, I think. She's a hacker.
Yes.
But how can you not? Okay.
Okay. She's been in the last couple. She's again quite good in it. Just if you haven't seen Fast 8 or Fast 7, seriously, they get chased on ice by a fucking submarine in Fast 8. So if you haven't seen Fast 8, go and watch Fast 8. It's really good.
You really do have to check your brain in at the door.
Yeah, for me, I remember the Fast films, like the first 2 or 3 Fast films, and I liked it for the the nitrous cars and all that sort of stuff. But they seem to have sort of got away from that.
Nigel, just to interrupt you there, was that vodka, Keith?
No.
Were you like you were necking vodka? Okay,
no,
sorry.
We have water filter. I have got vodka in the fridge.
going back to what Nigel said. Yeah, it was supposed to be like Point Break, but with cars, I believe. If you know what Point Break is.
Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be like.
I think so. Yeah, it was just like a cop thing, wasn't it, back then? Like he was infiltrating the gang. I think was it Paul Weller or something?
Paul Walker.
He was a cop and he was infiltrating this gang who was committing crime and all that sort of stuff, and he got a car and all that sort of stuff. And that was the basic premise, just having cool cars, driving them quick, doing stuff that they thought boy racers do. And it's moved on a little bit from there. Just a little bit.
Yeah. All right, Nigel, let's move on to our next one.
You're listening to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast.
Right. This one's a bit of a weird one. Okay. Now, if anyone knows anything about copyright rules and public domain, there's a rule which Disney brought in to say if your public domain expires and you don't keep reusing it, your copyright expires and you don't keep reusing it, it falls into public domain. So Disney have to keep doing that's why they've been doing things like Sleeping Beauty. The one. What was the fucking film with the Beauty and the Beast? Well, the film with the Beast. Yeah. So you got Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin and stuff like that, because they need to keep using it because copyright's expired after 21 years.
Probably Dalmatians as well.
Say again?
Dalmatians.
Yes, and Dalmatians and bits like that too. So it's just to keep the copyright going. Now, same thing's happening with Predator. Predator's great film. Its copyright's expired. They made other things with the Predator in order to keep the copyright going. That's one of the reasons we've got like a slew of shit films, because they just want to keep the license. And now Disney are now trying to finagle something with this copyright thing. So Disney sues writers of the iconic Arnold Schwarzenegger film Predator. Now, I've read through this several times to try and get a decent understanding of it and being able to communicate to you guys, but it's not as easy as I'd like. So I'm going to try and read back and see how you get on. Earlier this week, James and John Thomas were slapped Disney with a lawsuit in federal court seeking confirmation of successfully recapturing the rights to their franchise. Disney took over Fox owned the copyrights, Disney owned the assets and the liabilities of Fox, and this is one of their liabilities. According to the pair, Disney holds the copyright over is set to expire next week on April 17th. So where Fox have got the copyrights from James and John Thomas, if they don't remake something by the 17th, the top copyright goes back to them. Now, apparently Disney are making a Predator film. So it's really hard to talk about copyright law on a podcast, but it's just one of those things. So, but they want to get their copyright back from Fox. What was Fox and now is Disney. so that they can then lease it out to another company and then probably make another Predator film. It's have I explained that to you correctly?
What I read in that article was that back in 2016, the brothers had sent indication to whichever company had the copyright at the time, saying that they would like it back in 2016.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Disney back then. And they've heard nothing up until last week, where they just sort of went, no. So it's taken them about 4 years, 5 years maybe, to actually come back to them, which is a bit shitty, really, but sounds about right for a corporation, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It's an odd one. Yeah, right. It does. They didn't get back to them from the thingy. According to the filings by brothers, representative Marcus Taberoff notified Disney's intentions of seeking copyright in 2016. The claim didn't receive any objections from Disney. Yeah. Now, Disney have been notorious for being shit. Example, Alan Dean Foster. Alan Dean Foster's novelized the Star Wars, Aliens, Predator. I think he might have done Predator too. And he's not getting paid his residuals from his book sales. And I don't think Disney understand that you buy the liabilities, as in you have to pay the people who own these bits and the artists who do the performance and stuff their dues. And they're not doing it. And it's really shitty. And yeah, it sounds very Disney. They seem so fucking mismanaged. I am not joking when if my company, this wouldn't happen. And I'm sure your guys' company, if you had stuff like that, it wouldn't happen. And I know it wouldn't happen because we get rule changes and things left, right, and center, and we have to deal with them. You know, someone's changed the regs on something, and then we have to go out and investigate everything that might be affected by those regs. But Disney, for God's sake, they're just like a bunch of fucking idiots. I don't get how they're doing it. They're probably. I bet you they've got no liquidity whatsoever as a company. They've probably got hardly any money in the bank, and it's probably the coup has probably fucked that, and they're in proper debt. But somehow people keep still investing in them and to keep doing stuff. It's weird that I heard they were making the Predator film that was being, what was the term? Aggressively pursued, I think was the term that they used. And I think it might be because of the rights. And this all now makes sense when the two guys who created Predator say, hey, we want a copyright back. And now, here we go, Disney. Now we have to make a Predator film quickly. And it's going to be shit. It's gonna Disney buy things, but they can't maintain things. See Star Wars.
Yep.
See Star Wars.
Yep.
See how the MCU is now. So yes.
Yep.
I've lost my mouse.
It's because it's
I
magic.
agree with you.
It's not right. I've got boys, I've got a treat for you in a moment. Let me just put it up, and you're gonna love this. Let me just make sure it doesn't play automatically. Oh, it's bloody adverts. Hang on, so let's mute that and kill the advert off. I've got something to show you, and it will put a smile on your face if I've done it right. Right. Bump. Right. Okay, here we go. So let's just put a bump in. Enjoying the podcast so far? Why don't you give us a like on YouTube? Thanks. Right. I saw this on something, yeah. And I'm not a big Captain Marvel fan. Just keep watching. I'm sorry. It's in 60 frames a bloody second.
I might be now, though.
So, can you? There we go.
Right. Yeah, I watched this earlier. And although I understand that Captain Marvel is part of the Marvel universe that they've brought into the film and whatnot, I think she actually has more facial expressions than that Brie Larson fella who was in the films.
All right, for those listening, Disney have got because they own the rights to Marvel and they like put the characters in that, they've got someone dressed up as Captain Marvel who appears to be friendly, happy, and very pretty all at the same time. And it's like, this is a massive improvement This is a huge improvement in comparison. Look, she's greeting the camera. Look, she's being all happy and nice and greeting everyone, waving, and that's what you want from Captain Marvel. And I've got to move. I've got to take it off now because it is it's struggling a little there because of the frame rate on it. I just made me laugh because it's so funny to watch. Seriously, any other actress could have probably pulled off Captain Marvel with a few and decent scripts. Sorry, I won't put the whole thing at Brie Larson's feet there, but just coming across as friendly superhero-y person. This person clearly gets the idea. Someone said, "No, you need to greet stuff. You need to make everyone feel amazing." Yeah, and that's what she's done, and that's what Captain Marvel should be.
Yep.
So Keith is staring intently.
I think
she's not bad looking.
I think Keith may have the video open on full screen at highest res on pause.
She's a bit of a Brockside blonde, but I don't care. She's just there.
I was reading some of the comments, and there were a lot of them were saying what we just think, and also some go, "Oh, I was at Disney, and I actually recall seeing this woman, but playing a different character because obviously the actors and actresses
she was probably one of Disney princesses. I imagine
they move around and they do different things. So I just think it would have been better if her character in the films was portrayed a little bit more like that.
Yeah,
and not so soulless.
All right, so now I've lubed you guys up. Time for crazy.
God.
Right. BBC Diversity Chief says Idris Elba's TV detective Luther isn't black enough to be real because he doesn't have any black friends and he doesn't eat Caribbean food. I told Keith this yesterday and he didn't fucking believe me when it first came out of my mouth. He was like, "You what?" Yep, absolutely true. The BBC head of diversity, what was the name? I can't find her name now. Miranda.
Does he not eat watermelon either and cornbread?
Oh no, he doesn't. I just love the way this is the thing is these people who are obsessed with diversity and whatnot are secretly racist, and we all know it, yeah, because we don't see the world like that. We see people because it's just fucking easier. I'm sorry, my opinion is racism involves too much effort. Why bother? Just judge each person as you find them. Miranda Wayland, who's in charge of the BBC's diversity policy. She's the reason that BBC is so shit at the moment. Okay, she said that it was superficially diverse, and that's what I find quite funny. One, right? If you watch Luther doesn't have any friends. He really doesn't have any friends because anyone associated with him tends to get hurt. So he's only got like work colleagues. The closest he's got to a friend is a psychotic person called Alice. That's as close as he gets to a friend. She considers him as a friend, and he considers her as a pain in the ass. I find it amazing. Let's just check things first, right? Idris Elba's father is called Winston, who is from Sierra Leone and worked at Ford Dagenham, and his mother Eva, who's from Ghana. So nowhere near the Caribbean. So that's a racial fucking thing that you just picked up on that straight away. That's not good.
I read this and I immediately thought, now, I can't speak for people of different races, but I'm pretty sure people like different things.
Yes.
Regardless of race.
We're all individuals.
We're all
not
individuals.
A monoculture.
And it might be that Luther just doesn't like Caribbean food.
We barely see him eat, Nigel. He drinks coffee. That's all I know. I don't know what. I've never seen him eat sausage roll. I've never seen him eat fish and chips. I actually might have seen him eat fish and chips. But I can't. Him eating isn't fucking important.
No. Why is that a thing? Why is she? I don't see why this is an issue.
Just going through what you went through yesterday, kid. What you're trying to express, but this is fucking mad.
It's absolutely nuts. I mean, it's like if my wife has come over from China and she's here, she's going, actually, I'm going to stay off Chinese food now. I'm just going to eat the English stuff. And predominantly she does. So that would mean she's not Chinese enough in her eyes.
Yeah, exactly. If she's not eating sweet and sour chicken every meal, every day, then there's something wrong there.
Clearly, she's not Chinese enough in this woman's eyes because she's very stereotypical.
Yeah.
She's stereotyping.
It's annoying because I like Luther. Luther's a really good TV show.
It's brilliant.
It's a great TV show. It's one of the best. It's on par with Sherlock.
Yeah, and he is a brilliant actor. I've seen him in so many things, and I just think he's brilliant. I would have loved him on.
It's more than they are lining up a black guy to play Bond, by the way. But the rumors are, and actually, it really does work.
If he's a good actor, I don't care.
He's along. You won't know it, but it's the guy out of Bridgerton.
Oh,
he's along the line.
Right off.
Hang on.
No, he's flavour of the week. Why? Because he's flavour of the week.
Because I've seen him in something else. And he does have that Colin Salmon.
Colin Salmon in the 90s could have done a Black James Bond brilliantly.
I think this guy can. Honestly, he's got the accent.
Flavour of the week. This is trash nonsense.
I've never seen Bridgerton, but just like Tom Hardy, he's done the CBeebies read him to bed thing.
Yeah.
And apparently all the mums loved it, just like Tom Hardy.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
all the mums were watching.
I don't even think Tom Hardy can be James Bond.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, he is.
You need someone who's got a posh air about them to be James Bond.
He has.
Slightly.
He has. That's the thing. He plays a lord in this. And he's got the accent down, and he's got the suave down.
Mate. I put money on it. You owe me 2 T-shirts. I'm in it for 2. Yeah, he will not be James Bond.
I think it could work.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
but I do.
No,
you haven't watched him, dude. So you can't.
This is what's going to happen. Yeah, the new James Bond film's going to come out. It's going to crash and burn. Yeah, it's going to be one of those films that you have a big opening weekend and then off a cliff. Okay, that's what's going to happen because everybody hates it, and then there'll be rumblings of return. They'll be talking about returning to formula, and I can't tell Keith he's derp faced. Oh no, he hasn't derp faced. He's just
that's his thoughtful face.
And it's gonna do that because it's just gonna be crap unless they have refilmed a load of stuff in there to make it more James Bond like. It's not. This is not because this person is a really good actor and is a perfect James Bond fit. This is because it is politically expedient to do it because people have guilty conscience and dirty hands. That's all there is to it. Because if you wanted a James Bond, you've got Tom Hiddleston who could probably do it. Yeah, you could have him as a weird, wiry James Bond. I think it's probably the best way of describing him. Yeah. The only reason that they're doing it through anything else is because it's just politics. It's got nothing to do with actual. And I'm going to say politics, I mean identity politics. I don't mean like kind of the politics of good and evil or things like that. Anyway, going back to the Idris Elba thing, as he disappeared off into the weeds. Idris Elba had a reply for this, which he put on his Instagram, which said, "We must not pull ourselves backwards, only push ourselves forwards," which is probably the classiest and best reply he could have done for that. Basically saying it's bollocks.
Well, I mean, how can anyone... I mean, seriously, it's saying that all black people like fried chicken and watermelon. It is, She said, why didn't she just go full hog and say, well, he doesn't eat fried chicken either? I mean, fucking seriously. I mean, how can you even say this in public? How was she misquoted?
Right. That's the worst thing, is that she feels so empowered in her beliefs and opinions, which are wrong, and we can clearly see they're wrong. Idris Elba thinks they're wrong, that she is more than comfortable with saying them out in public, and that is a problem, and that needs to kind of stop because it's not good.
Maybe what she's doing is she says, "Well, these are things that I like." And I represent this. And so Idris Elba, the character, should also like this. And therefore, it's wrong. Where she's not looking at the wider picture of everyone's likes and dislikes and things like that and gone, do you know what? There's a good chunk of people who don't like this. There's a good chunk of people who do. And a good chunk of people who are, You know,
Yeah.
like the country as a whole.
Yeah.
I think she's a bit wide of a mark. I just think you can't judge an entire country or whatever.
That's not. We were told as children that we weren't allowed to do that. We were told putting labels on people was a bad thing. Yeah. But now, unless you see race as a thing, you're apparently right winger. Well, then I'm a right winger. Then I'll be. I'm quite happy to be a right winger. It's not a fucking nasty word because I judge the individuals on the individual traits because that's I always believe to be the right thing, and that way you can greet and meet people equally. But on that note, let's move on to something else. Watching the content so far? Why don't you leave a comment and join in with us? Matey blokey. Now, Resident Evil had a big kind of promo thing, which we'll cover in the games bit, but there was a special bit for Netflix. I actually quite like the look of this.
Never gotten clearance to land that fast before. You must be special.
Leon,
Claire?
could you take a look at something?
Why do they look familiar?
Boy drew them.
Because they're from Resident Evil 2.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't really played any of the games, so.
I gotta go. Don't do anything stupid.
So that's the
Hey,
game with
Leon.
tank controls, isn't it?
That outfit doesn't suit you.
Yeah. The second remake was fantastic.
Oh, the remake. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get the president to the
Right,
bunker.
just like when they're in the White House, the lights go off
Anything even
and
remotely
shit's
hostile gets a
going.
headshot.
Yeah. Do you know what? That, even though it's a cartoon, and I'm not
animated,
animated, it looks better than what came out in the films a while back with that woman. I've forgotten her name.
Yeah, I know. You're talking about the Resident Evil films.
Yes.
The CG stuff that they did was far better. Really was. It was far better. The CG stuff that they did. They had a couple of ones that they did, which were like animated kind of movies, like in the same vein as that, and they were great. And my two favorite characters are Leon and Claire, and it was great because if you play Resident Evil 2, you get to play it from different perspectives. You get to play it from Leon's perspective, you play from Claire's perspective. So you come across roughly the same puzzles, you're going in the same areas, but you're having to deal with different problems at slightly different times.
Oh, okay.
And then the remake, Resident Evil 2 remake, is a phenomenal game. It was brilliant. The Resident Evil 3 remake followed the pattern of Resident Evil 3 because they rushed out Resident Evil 3 after Resident Evil 2 because they wanted the cat's cash in it and they wanted to fund Code Veronica, which was the one that was coming out on the Dreamcast. And this looks good. Leon was always my favorite character because he was the new guy on the first day on the job and all this shit goes down and he survives. That's a great story of coming across adversity. And Claire, again, doesn't know anything about the shit. She's looking for her brother. Gets over it. Fantastic.
I like the little diss about his suit as well. She dissed his suit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who. I don't know who these two people are, but they seem like they got chemistry. So,
but they survived the zombie apocalypse and Raccoon City together. So yeah, I think they got chemistry. But yeah, it looks good. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like. Those Resident Evil ones that done, I think there's primarily from Japan. Pay more attention to the source material, shall we say? Even though I think the last one I saw was a bit overboard, and probably something is the difference between the films and the games and the way they do things. So,
certainly looks interesting. It'd be good to see if it's a 15 or an 18 when it comes out.
Well, it's on Netflix, mate, so you can just turn it on, watch it. It's gonna be
cool.
I
mean, something to watch with the kids or not. It might be a bit.
I'll watch it first before I watch it with your kids. Depends what your kids are like.
Yeah,
my son would be bothered by it, but I don't know if your kids might be. I don't know what their sensibility's like. Yeah. So, Keith, what do you think of that?
Looks good. I'm up for it. I quite like the cartoons. I'm always up for any trying something like this. I'll give it a go. Looks like I don't know any of the characters because I haven't really played many of the Resident Evil games, but it certainly looks fun.
Before we move on to the next one, can I just get a quick camera check from you, Keith? He looks like he's even wearing the same top.
I love Team America.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. Okay.
I've got the biggest weapon of mass destruction ever. Alec Bowie.
I thought he was going to flop out.
No, I still love that line.
All right, let's move on to our next story. Hi, we've also got a Facebook page. Why don't you pop over there and give us a like? You can also watch the live streams on there. Thanks. The world has gone fucking crazy. It's official. What's the comment? If one person goes crazy, they're called insane. If a nation goes crazy, well, it's just normal, isn't it? Simpsons actor Hank Azaria bends the knee and wants to apologize to every Indian in North America for his portrayal of Apu in The Simpsons.
Why not? Why not go the whole hog and apologise to everyone?
Why not go the whole hog and give up all your money to them? Because clearly that would show that you're sorry if you're handing out money, wouldn't it? You're not? Are you really sorry? Are you? Or is it just because, you know, going back to the James Bond thing, it's politically expedient?
I find it... I saw this a while back and I thought... My initial thought was... isn't The Simpsons based on the stereotypical person?
Yeah, all of them.
All over.
All of them, yeah. Where's his apology to Scottish people for Willie?
Yeah.
The smoking teacher for Edna Krabappel. What else? The Bumblebee Man. Ken Brockman.
Drunk clown, Killer Clowns. What
it's
about...
supposed to be McDonald's? McDonald's Krusty is. That's what you've got. Krusty Burger and stuff like that.
Well, no, I was thinking of Sideshow, the Killer Clown, and then the family, stereotypical American family. They need to apologise to every single family in the US for portraying every family like that. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. The whole controversy began back in 2017 when Apu was deemed offensive by comedian Harry Condonblua. I can't even say his name. In his documentary titled "The Problem with Apu." You're not much of a fucking comedian if you don't understand offense, mate. His problem with the character is everything with Apu is like a running joke, and the running joke is that he's Indian, whilst failing to understand that The Simpsons shtick is mainly making fun of stereotypes. Thank you very much for that comic bounding into comics.
Yeah,
this is bullshit.
I mean, Homer's running joke is that he's thick as shit.
Yeah, where's the thing about dads?
Yeah, dads are thick as shit. American dads are thick as shit. They need to apologise on whoever's the actor's behalf. And the housewife Marge is stereotypical, like quite. This needs to be done now. Oh, why aren't you doing this right? Yeah, nagging and all that. And it's like, well, not everyone's like that. It's a stereotypical thing. It's a joke.
It is a joke, but they don't understand it. That's the problem with it.
It's ironic that the comedian can't understand that things are a joke.
I don't, as I said, the world has gone mad.
Well, yeah, but he lives in California. What were you going to expect here?
I think there's a climate of fear in the movie industry.
Yeah, there is.
They're all fucking terrified. I want to find out the source of the origin and exercise it so we can go back to just, directors and producers stripping actresses for parts, because that was what Hollywood was really about. Oh, and all the communism too. So yeah, Hollywood was always red, if anyone asks, and it's just a pain in the ass. Right. That's. Hang on a second. I'm going to move us into the gaming bits because I think we've got past our spicy weird news, and now we can go in to get some gaming stuff. Right. Oh, fucking adverts. I need to link my personal account to thingy. Resident Evil, as we said earlier in the show, has had a event, a big showcase event on YouTube, and they showed off some of their stuff. And I'm just going to play some of the tease trailer from the new Resident Evil game, The Village, which looks fantastic. I'll be honest with you. It looks absolutely fucking gorgeous.
It does look
things
good.
I picked up on it. The main character is called Ethan Winters. The umbrella symbol appears to have some kind of significance. Don't know what. Mother Miranda is the exceptionally tall woman with the massive mammaries.
Seems quite charismatic as well.
Yeah, she does. In comparison to her redneck brother, I think it was, because I think they believe they're related. Sounds like they've been in a plane crash of sorts and crashed into the hills. They're definitely werewolves, but they're not werewolves. They're lycans, which are werewolves that can turn at will rather than being forced to change when the moon comes out. Chris Redfield, I think it's Chris Redfield that's in it. Definitely got still a load of survival aspects in it. There's a demo that's out on the PS4 and PS5, and it's a bit weird one because apparently you can get an hour either exploring the castle or the village in the game. So you could have a full hour wandering around Resident Evil 5, and then I don't know if it cuts off. They're encouraging everyone to share all their bits there, share all their kind of clips and stuff. So I might do something with that. And it's a 25th anniversary. So there's lots of people saying thank you and whatnot for it. It looks gorgeous as a piece of software. It is a piece of software. There's the massive Miranda lady with her.
She's meant to be 7 foot something, I think.
God. Yeah, she's matronly scary, shall we say? I think is probably the best way of describing it. But the graphics look fantastic. They really do. It's like it's a shot here of someone driving their car through the building, and then you're running through, and it looks like it's got little hidden passages. And I'm wondering whether there's, how can I put it, a scientific explanation for it, like the mold in the last Resident Evil game that was causing them to have what looked like supernatural powers, but there's some scientific thing behind it. Giant fish creature. There's a lichen there attacking main character.
Huh.
And there's Miranda, and there's Keith in the hat.
You didn't tell us you got a little.
I think it's a good guest part. That's the guy. I think a guy called the Duke who apparently offers you things. Joking aside, it looks great. There's another squad of people in there to help you out. I think it's going to be a good game. Depends how you get on with it. I'm hoping it has a VR option because that would be cool.
Oh yeah.
The other one had a VR option. Me and Nige played a session with that, and the great thing about that was, which you can't normally do in Resident Evil games, you can put your head out, look out the door, and go, "Yep, coast is clear." But I think the combat when we were trying to take out the woman in the attic, we struggled with badly.
You can't. Yeah, it was so tough to control. It was a shame, really. Other than that, yeah, it was decent in VR, but oh well. But look, I don't like Resident Evil games, but that does look very good. Graphically, it looks very good. I don't know quite what the gameplay is going to be like. If it's going to be your typical FPS, running around doing stuff, or if it's third person, I don't know. I haven't seen any videos of it. You might as well buy it, Gareth, and let us know.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for a game. I'm eyeing up Returnal, but I don't want to pay full price for it. Or Karen's in Space, as it's lovingly referred to. So yeah, it looks exciting. They showed that off. They showed off the teaser trailer for the Resident Evil Netflix series, which looks good. Their 25th anniversary, as I said, lots of people saying thank you and whatnot. I fucking watched the one with German subtitles. So when the Japanese guy turns up and he's talking Japanese, I'm having to go, I think I understand that from my limited understanding of German. I don't know why. I'm sure when I clicked on it, it had the English one, but I probably said DE rather than EN. But yeah, it looks good. Anyway,
My
that's
German is very limited. It literally wunderbar,
Bratwurst.
and that's it.
Bratwurst and Acton.
Yeah. If they say those
I'm
three
sure
words
you.
over and over, I'm there.
I'm sure you've got a little bit more German in you because I know you've watched some German porn. Yeah.
I don't what. That's my
Scheiße. Sorry.
And on that note, as Keith drags us into the gutter, a word's too much for you? Then you should follow us on Instagram. We put pretty pictures out. Thanks. All right. Okay. So, Amazon's gaming division is crap. I think they should just stick to retail. They can't do space rockets and they can't do gaming. They closed off. They opened one game up and closed it down, and now they're closing down another game. So, Amazon have closed down the division that was doing the Lord of the Rings game. It was cancelled due to, I think it was a problem with the China-based company Liu Technologies Holdings, which was acquired by Tencent Holding, which is a Chinese thing. So I think it's safe to say that it went over to Tencent and then they kind of lost all the kind of focus and everything on it, which isn't good. May have something to do with other things too. Resulting in negotiations between Amazon and Tencent eventually caused the game to be cancelled. Bloomberg again. Bloomberg have been really good on gaming recently. Citing just citing that was a familiar matter. Following the Leo recent acquisition by Tencent, it's been able to secure the teams to proceed with the title at last. That just seems like Tencent bought them. We're not doing your fucking game.
Or they were.
Well done, Amazon. You should have just
like
paid American guys to do it. Sorry.
Yeah, well, they can. Amazon can go get an American team to do it now, or anyone else in the world. It does sound like there were T's and C's in place for this company to be getting on with it, and they were quite happy with those. They got bought out by this new company, who went, "Oh, don't like those T's and C's. We got to make it more in favour of us." And being a bigger company, maybe they thought they could and get away with it. But Amazon just went, no thanks, we'll walk away. Thanks for all the fish. And left them to it.
Whoa. Did you just make a nerdy reference?
No, he didn't. He tried to make a nerdy reference and crashed it. No, it's so long and thanks for all the fish.
He said thanks for all the fish, which means he knows where it come from.
I've no clue where that comes from.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's when the dolphins leave the planet because they know that the Vogons are turning up to destroy it. And the last message they give to humanity is so long and thanks for all the fish.
I knew it was there, but I didn't know where from.
Triple back loop through a flaming hoop, I think it was, which was mistaken. But I think it's partly this is Amazon's fault for relying too much on outsourcing rather than kind of. It sounds really. I'm going to say having a diverse workforce. So having some people in the States doing it, some people in Europe doing it, and some people in, and then dividing the work up between the two. So the game can be worked on 24 hours a day because of the way the hemispheres and the time zones are broken up, and that they can afford to do it. But Jeff Bezos. Sorry.
They could afford to directly own a team or many teams to simply work. I know there's a team working on MMO called New World, which is an online multiplayer.
I look forward to hearing that being cancelled in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's being made by the same people, but that one has been in the works for quite some time now. So I can't see it be. They've got to be near alpha/beta at the moment, so I don't think they'd cancel it that quick. I don't think they would cancel it, but that one has progressed. I'm astonished that they just. Well, I think maybe they'll go. Okay, let's get another team over here. They've lost out. They might carry on later. I wouldn't mind another Lord of the Rings game. Depends on what. If it's a single player
Nige, it was going to be an MMORPG, so it would probably be closer to Dark Ages of Camelot. So I think you probably would have enjoyed the hell out of it.
Well, you've still got Lotro, Lord of the Rings Online, which I think is still available to play, and it was free to play, I think, when it came out. But it was obviously, if you paid a sub, then you get unlocked loads of other stuff that you can do and so forth. So it's fairly limited. But as far as I'm aware, it's still going.
Yeah.
So there is a game out there at the moment.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to our next story. If I can find the button to press. Oh, it's this one.
Hi, this is Nigel, and I'm talking in my lovely narrator's voice. Bask in its loveliness. But don't bask for too long. We need your help. Come to YouTube and watch our videos for the love of God. Well, send Keith round to your next barbecue and he'll eat all your food. Toasty! You have been warned.
Apex Legends. Now, I've been playing Apex Legends recently with my mate Keith. Not Keith, Malcolm. Sorry, Keith. And they've apparently reached 100 million strong players. I can understand that as I think it's probably the best battle royale game because it's not as, how can I put it? It's not as obnoxious with its drive space as Call of Duty.
Yeah,
it's not as obnoxious with its player base as Fortnite.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel silly or twee. Well, it does feel silly. It doesn't feel as twee as Fortnite. And then the other games like PUBG. PUBG feels unfinished in comparison to the others. It's made by the people who made Modern Warfare 2, so it's better. I'm sorry. As a game, but they put a little celebratory tweet to say that they had 100 million players playing on Apex Legends, and I like playing Apex Legends. It's my in between game. I think I'd describe it as. I play it in between playing other games, so it's not a game I can pick up, have a couple of rounds on, put down, move on. The downside is you do get teamed up with some prized fucking cabbages.
Yeah, you do. I think it works when we played together with Malk, it was at least we could chat and figure out where we're going to go. And if I don't have a bug, which you haven't seemed to have, but I've had it where I'm just picking up some stuff, and the game freezes. As in, what I can't move my character; it's just looking at the floor or looking at the wall. But everything else is fine. You know, I can see the ring moving. I can see everything. The game itself hasn't frozen. And the only time it comes unstuck is when the ring then hits my character and it goes, oh, you're back. You can play again now. It's like, 10 minutes passed.
Yeah. I associate lots of game bugs with you, Nige.
Yeah.
Over Xbox Live is one.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem to happen with anyone else. It's always you. It's like, I can hear you, Nige. Gareth, I can't hear you. Nige, I can hear you, mate. No, Gareth, I can't hear you. No. I can hear you. Can you see me? And it's like, no, I can't see you either. And oh fuck no. My problem is probably with streaming, because every time I go to stream something, I hit a fucking wall of sort. Doesn't matter how many times I test it to try and make sure that I don't hit the wall, make sure everything's nice, done, and tidy. Okay, we're going to move on to the review section. So we're going to go back once more into the bowels of Hollywood for this bit.
I think
All right.
what's coming.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Fuck me sideways with the broom handle. Okay. I hate what this is turning. This is what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to be like from now on. I don't think I'm going to watch Loki. As I said to Nigel, my favorite thing on Disney Plus is Castle from 2008. I'm worried that I'll get towards the end of it and it'll start having this stupid fucking identity politics nonsense in. This one was all about this one was all about race. Because naturally we need to hear this more and more often. People are too willing to jump on this fucking bandwagon, and everything is becoming a little bit more tense. I think we had a good thing, and I think we've broke it. I think our life was so good that we have fucked it up completely.
I'm
And this is
confused.
a
I
perfect
don't know if I
example.
watched the same episode as you then, because I didn't see anything around race.
Didn't see anything around
It was all-
race. What? The
What,
bit where
episode
they're in
5?
5.
Episode 5 is all about race. The whole
Yeah,
thing is
episode 5
about
is
race.
all about race.
He goes to see the black super soldier who is locked up, who says he can't be black Captain America because he's a black man. He says,
and then he
no
has a chat with
self-respect.
Bucky, saying that Steve didn't realize that America might not be ready for a black Captain America. Did you not watch the same episode as us?
I think maybe I might be giving up because even though it was fairly actiony at the start, I did have to nip out a few times, and I didn't bother pausing it because I'm not bothered. I might have missed a couple of bits, but I was looking out. I saw your message, and I was like, "Well, I watched it today, and I was watching it going, I haven't seen anything here." Like,
no, it's. I to be honest, I personally think it wasn't as race driven as some of the other things that I've seen.
But it was.
Hang on, but hear me out here. The problem with it is Marvel is a comic book. It's about a comic book world. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is a comic book world. It's about good versus evil. I'm not black and white. Do you know what I mean? There's no realism in it. It's about escapism. It's about going in and watching superheroes kill, win and take down the bad guys. That's what the Marvel Cinematic Universe used to be about. That's what the first Avengers movie is about. I mean, for fuck's sake, you've got giant space worms flying through New York. That's what the Avengers movie was about. It was fun, right? This is not fun. This is gritty, dark, and it's damn realistic.
Not,
and it's like
clever. Is that what? Right? Okay.
No, it's not.
Right. The first problem I had, was you had the John Walker Captain America, He runs into the warehouse. Everything's fucked up. He's trying to get his thoughts back together, Bucky and Falcon come in, and where before, what is his mush? Falcon would talk the terrorist lady down who had murdered a building full of people by exploding them, so they'll never see their families again. And John Walker had killed someone, an enemy combatant. And you'll sit that you forget that he has the super soldier serum in him, so he's practically armed constantly. That he killed that person, and he may have done it emotionally. So instead of going to John Walker and trying to talk John Walker down like he did with the terrorist lady, he didn't. So naturally, John Walker loses his shit. Shouldn't have said anything about the shield. He should have said, "Sit down. We should talk. Use our words." It's like fucking the Doctor Who speech. This is not going to end until we sit down and fucking talk it through. That bit pissed me off, because it's all of a sudden, it's all right because it's him. He's on your fucking side, you pillock. He carries a gun. He doesn't carry a gun, to deliver kisses, sweethearts, and sausages, He carries a gun because a gun's there to kill people. Okay, he used the shield to kill someone with. Do you know why? Because that's all he had at the time. He lost his fucking rag. So instead of trying to talk him down and put him in a kind of a better place, no, they had to go and fight him. And good for him. He ripped fucking Falcon's wings to shreds, to teach him a lesson. And he pretty much took out Bucky at the same time too. That pissed me off to start with. Because that guy was trying. He kept on offering the hand of friendship and support. And instead of coming up and say, "Look, you go and do your shit officially over here. We'll go and do our shit unofficially over here. And we'll meet up every so often," which they could have done.
That's what I thought that they were setting up for this whole series. That's what I thought they were going to be setting up. Because although I think his attitude isn't, we're used to the attitude of Captain America from the films. This guy is a completely different guy, hence a completely different attitude. So he's not going to behave the same. I understand that. I didn't understand. I thought exactly like you that they were going to have a chat, because they walked in, they saw him on the floor, head bowed, pretty much like distraught with himself, and they thought that was the best idea to, like, instead of having a chat, just attack him.
That got me.
Why? They're trying to say, I know from the beginning, I know maybe it's the mannerisms that they've given this Captain America, Tom Walker, from the beginning to set him up to become a bad guy later. But really, that whole thing was so contrived. That scene
that pissed me right off.
It
and then the next thing that pissed me right off, yeah, Baron Zemo, yeah, he's supposed to be the bad guy, okay? He left, yeah, and he clearly went to a place where he could be found. And he said, I've been waiting for you to come and fucking find me. Yeah? And he's waiting at the Sokovia Monument because he wanted to make a point. Yeah? He wanted to make a point. You can sit there and be all like this, yeah? But you fucked my entire country. Yeah? To your actions, the Avengers and whatnot, you fucked my entire country. So don't you dare. That's what he was doing, very slyly. And then they hand him over to the Wakandans, who then put him in the raft. So they don't take him back to Wakanda to stand trial for murdering their president, which would make more sense.
That's
they
what I
don't
thought they were
to Germany, where he was being held, which makes more sense. We'll put him in the raft because people have broken out of the raft with ease. Captain America turned up and broke everyone out at one point. What the fuck? Yep. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Take him back to Wakanda if you're gonna do it. Yeah, it's just shit writing. It's terrible writing. The characters are out of whack. Okay, they had a training montage and whatnot. The thing with the black guy who's supposed to be like Captain America, I'd just like to point out that if you know anything about Nick Fury in Marvel Cinematic Universe, he takes a serum that slows his aging down. And he's been around since World War II because he was, part of the thingy. And he's supposed to be Samuel L. Jackson at the same time too. So I think they've kind of repurposed part of that story and mixed it in. The guy's clearly bitter. He's got a chip on his shoulder about it. And then it's so heavy-handed, and it's
shit.
It's shit. It's terrible. It's worse than shit. It's aggravating. Before it was shit. Now it's aggravating. I'm not interested in the Black Widow. I'm not interested in fucking thingy. I'm gonna watch the last one of this, and I'm done with the fucking Marvel universe. Because if you want to pass this off as shit, no, I'm sorry, piss off. Write it clever. Yeah, be clever in the way you put it together. Don't be so. It's crap. I'll be honest with you. I did tune out halfway through to watch a promotional YouTube video by a rapper called Tom McDonald, because that was more interesting.
It's not good. I possibly don't. Maybe I'm like Nige that I'm becoming immune to the political side of things. But to me, the biggest problem with it is that they're going for some kind of realism and grittiness that just doesn't belong in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a comic book universe. It's not meant to be ultra realistic. It's about superheroes bashing the bad guys. I mean, the closest thing we should ever have come to real was Civil War, and even that was pretty comic booky. So what the hell is this shit? I mean, you've turned Samantha. I mean, although I think it's a double bluff. What's the face? Sharon Carter into potentially the Broker, although I think the Broker is going to be someone else. I'm not enjoying it. It's not Marvel. It doesn't feel like Marvel to me. Yeah, you've got Bucky and the Falcon in there, but it doesn't feel like Marvel to me. It just feels too
like
gritty.
Bucky or thing.
No, it doesn't.
So I was watching some other people tear it apart too, and they said, if you remember the scene in Civil War where they're fighting in the airport and they're running through the terminal, and that's Bucky and Falcon. Those characters aren't the same as these ones that we're seeing.
No, they're not. And I think I said that to you last week, where Spider-Man's kicking their ass, and the banter between them is really, really amusing and funny. And like right at the end, Falcon I think turns around and just goes, "I hate you," or something like that, and it's really amusing. There's none of that shit here. It's all about realism and like, oh, my family has to sell a boat, and fuck off. I don't care. I don't care that he's got a real life. He's a fucking hero.
I'd just like to point out the following. Yeah, are you telling me that a trainer company, a sports drinks company, fucking boat company doesn't want to approach the Falcon for sponsorship. A few
there's that
adverts
as well,
for that, all gone. Yeah, that's one thing that the boys does do correctly, where they mix the capitalism part of it in there with it, because he'd be able to make the money through that. He'd be able to make it fucking t-shirt sales online.
But again,
really
that's bringing in realism that shouldn't be there, because again, the Marvel Cinematic, with the exception of Deadpool, they don't do that. They're clean cut superheroes. Yeah, okay, they've got a little bit of spice in them, and we see that in Civil War. But this is gritty realism. It's on the streets, and it's like it's all street and everything. It's like, fuck off. That's why the Netflix things ultimately failed, because they were too gritty and too dark. That's DC Comics thing. Marvel Cinema is meant to be light and fluffy.
Yeah,
this is not light and fluffy.
Yeah,
it's shit.
To be honest with you, the bit with the boat, I actually sat and watched because I like the fact that those two were just getting on and just drinking beer and fixing shit. And he's telling him to don't eye up my sister. And I thought, yeah, I can reminisce with that. But that was probably the favourite bit of mine. And it had nothing in it.
I'll give you that. That did make me giggle. But that was like they opened the door for a second, they gave you that, and then they closed it again. I'm not talking about them like Sam and him getting together and doing something on the boat. I'm talking about the whole we're having to sell the family boat shit and all about the community coming together, which was a political thing, by the way.
Well, the thing was, they said that, and he phoned round loads of people, blah, 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 getting them down. And yeah, loads of people turned up. But when they did the montage of them fixing up the boat, not one person outside of those two mains were helping with the boat. They were just stood around outside having a fucking chat.
Falcon can make a phone call to anyone. He literally saved half the fucking universe. I mean, literally, not just the planet, the fucking universe. Oh, I'm going to phone all these guys and they're going to help me, and I'm down on bullshit.
Yeah, see, that would have been a lot better if he'd walked in the bank, and gone to the bank manager. Because, hi, did you have any loved ones that were snapped out of existence and then came back 5 years later? And yeah, you can thank fucking me for that, boy.
Yeah,
because we made sure it stayed. Yeah, I think the Marvel
I think from the very start, we said the whole "do we sell the boat, don't we sell the boat" thing was just fucking trash. It didn't need to be even in the story. You're trying to give him humanity. Yeah, okay. But why do you need to revisit it every single episode? You don't.
No,
you don't need to.
All right, let's wrap this bastard up and put a bow on it with a final section. Right. Okay.
I purposely never read this story.
All right. Okay. I read the headline for this, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. And it's like, how do you know they still worked after? Puppy swallows AirPods whole and baffled vet as they are still working. A dog owner's heart sank after a golden retriever had to have surgery to remove Apple AirPods that he ate after a case fell out of her pocket. And then they had to be removed through intricate surgery. Now, originally, I thought the dog had passed these through. And they popped out the other end, and she'd gone through the poop. Yeah, and then it's like, how do you know that they work? Why would you do that? Why would you like? Oh, they still work after. Was it like Jurassic Park with the telephone and Jurassic Park 3? Remember that with the big ass dinosaur eats a telephone and it's going every time they get near it. So yeah, I had to go on the 2-year-old the puppy had to undergo surgery. Blah blah blah. Heart sank. Oh, just imagine that, because I genuinely thought when I read that thing that the dog had passed it all the way through, and those AirPods were brown.
That puts a whole new spin on listening to shit music, doesn't it?
What I would have liked to have done is if there was a function that goes, your AirPods, sorry, are in the dog. And then you just hear the music coming out the dog's arse. Or even better, you rig it up so it plays, so it sounds like the dog's talking.
Brilliant.
Could you imagine it? Put an audio book on by Stephen Fry,
Turn up the volume.
Not only the dog's talking, but it sounds like Stephen Fry.
He's got a posh mimic accent, hasn't he? He's very well spoken, our dog.
Yes, he is very well
I
spoken.
didn't know our dog narrated Harry Potter.
Did 72 hours of bloody Sherlock Holmes.
Fucking talented dog.
I'm sure it's about 72 hours. Anyway, I think it's time we say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
And we will shut up, you tart. And we will see you in the next podcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. And as I said before, we'll be splitting these up for the month of May to see how we get on. So, catch you later. I'm just like grateful they weren't fucking wired. Could you imagine that? The dogs, you could plug your iPad in the dog's mouth and have the headphones poking out of its butt. That would be terrible.
Well, at least then we'd be able to get it back out.